start
Out of the
talking.
blue, right?
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to Out of the Blue with Tara and Brian Leggett. So this is episode 1. This is our first one ever doing this, ever attempting to do this. This is kind of something that we've been wanting to do for a while now. Sorry, I gotta get my life together. So, first things we're going to do today is we're going to go over intros. I'm going to introduce myself. Tara's going to introduce herself. Then we're going to go over like what exactly.
Stop. We don't need
We're
to
going
do
to
it
go
outline
over
like a
what
business.
exactly we're doing here, when we're going to be posting, and what we're going to be posting about, where to find us, and then we'll finish up with our why. So to start intro, I'm going to kick that off. So again, Brian Leggett. Owner of CSS Wellness, which is a personal training studio here in Lexington, Kentucky, where we believe in convenience, simplicity, and your success. We push everybody as hard as we can, and in doing that, I tend to push myself fairly hard and to great extents. And it gets to the point where you need an outlet, and this is my outlet. This is my therapy, right?
Just do the intro.
This
You're
is my
making
intro.
a lot of editing for me.
This is my intro.
You keep skipping down to the why.
It's all about my why. All right, so my intro. Yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I've been training for 10 years now. We've been married for 7 years and a couple weeks. I'm a family man. I'm a businessman. And I enjoy shooting my bow and arrow and swinging a golf club. Although I'm not that great at either, but I like to do it. So that's about all for my intro.
I am Tara Leggett. I, of course, have been married 7 years. We have 3 children: a 12-year-old stepdaughter, Layla, a 4-year-old son, LB, little Brian, and a 2-month-old baby girl named Vivian, which is why I keep looking over there. There's the baby monitor. She just dozed off. And yeah, when I met Brian, we were still in school. It was his last year of school, my first year of school, and I studied. I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry. I worked in my field for 6 years in pharmaceuticals, and I have been home full-time with the kids for the past year and a half. While Brian has focused on CSS, I have focused a lot of energy on the home. So that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hobbies? I don't know. I just have kids everywhere. I don't have hobbies. Every once in a while I get to shower.
That's all about you? What do you like? What are your interests?
What do I like? What am I interested in? As awkward as this will sound, because I'm kind of awkward in person. I feel awkward right now doing this video, but I love people, but not on a small talk level. I think that's why I like social media so much. I like to see that the world is so much bigger than what we are exposed to. I grew up in West Virginia. We live in Lexington, Kentucky now. I'm 2.5 hours from home. And so that's what got me into growing my social media following. And then when I first left work, a lot of my energy was into online coaching and fitness, and that's what kind of grew my following, and I just got a love for meeting people.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Why? First off, I know we'll hit the why.
You really want to do why? We're not doing why.
But all right, so what is Out of the Blue?
So Out of the Blue is an outlet for us. It is a channel where we just want to share our lives with the people that we love and people that we know, people near and far. For me, it's kind of another form of social media. Just like I would share on Instagram, I want to share on Out of the Blue. So it won't just be, I think this is something that kind of kept us from starting for a while. We don't have a very specific focus. It's more just sharing our life. So our kids will be on here, we'll be on here, and I don't know. What would you say Out of the Blue is?
About the same, just a healthy outlet. So one of my coaches came up to me and she told me that she enjoyed following Tara throughout her pregnancy stuff because she was now pregnant And she was like, I didn't realize as I've been following her that all of the stuff that she had been going through, that, now I have a better understanding, and I'm going to be going back to those videos now that I can relate to it more, right? So I kind of feel like that. Like, I want something to be said to where maybe younger, maybe older, black, white, Mexican, indifferent, whatever, can relate to, understand, and just know that, like, no matter your race, your gender, your whatever, we're all out here just trying to get it, and hopefully we can say something that can help propel somebody forward.
And one thing that I've noticed about social media, especially through sharing my pregnancy and my journey with transitioning to being at home from the workplace, and just sharing stuff about our marriage and parenting and being a mom, is that it's healing in a lot of ways. Sharing for me is healing. I feel like it can kind of give some insight to people who have not been through it yet. And a lot of times I hear from people who have been through the things that I'm going through. And not only will they encourage me, they'll say, it's nice to know that it wasn't just me. Because there's so many things that kind of naturally we keep to ourselves. And if you can share a little bit of that discomfort, maybe you can prevent somebody else from going through the same discomfort or going through it alone.
Mm-hmm. So when we'll be posting, we'll post on Mondays. Monday is Marriage Monday. Tuesday is Toddler Tuesday. Wednesday is Workout Wednesday. Friday is Family Friday. And that's it. So
that's all we're promising.
Right. On Marriage Monday, we'll pick a topic and tackle, a misconception, common knowledge, whatever, but something related to the marriage life. And Toddler Tuesday, Tara's gonna shine on that one. I might jump in here.
LB is gonna shine.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still a toddler at 4.
Yeah, it don't
but
matter.
If he's not, Vivian will be a toddler.
Yeah. And so Workout Wednesday, I'll kind of shine on that, but I'm also going to highlight some of my coaches and have them put us through a session or through a workout.
And the exciting thing about Workout Wednesday is it will be a workout that you can also take and do totally for free. So.
Mm-hmm. And then Family Friday will just kind of be like a recap of everybody's week. Would love to do that, all together. Have LB in the shots with us. Have Viv as a prop with us. and yeah, so just look for those on those days. Where you can find us. Where can they find us?
If you want more information on us, I know a lot of people watching this will probably have been sent here from my Instagram or Brian's Instagram, but if you've just stumbled upon us on YouTube and you're like, who are these people? You can find me on Instagram at tara.yvette, 2 R's in Tara. You know what? Just look in the description to find it. Or you can find Brian on Instagram at Leggett Party of 5. And also you can find our gym, CSS Wellness, at CSS Wellness on Instagram. And then if you want to take a little bit of a deeper dive, see what I'm interested in, you can find me on my blog, www.terryvet.com.
I love the why. For me, why is huge. Why keeps you going.
He couldn't do this video because he wanted to just jump in and be like, hey, this is why I'm here.
You don't even know why you're here or what are you doing. All right. For me, my why is, like I've kind of alluded to earlier, is a healthy outlet to enlighten people and just to show people that, normal people do exist. I feel like a lot of times, especially as a trainer, you're put on this pedestal, right? So as a married black man, I'm put on this pedestal and be like, oh, well, he's a business owner. He's a married black guy. He's, no, I'm just a normal guy. I get mad just like everybody else get mad. But yeah, it's just I just want to show people that normal life does exist. I want to talk about normal stuff. I want to have a healthy outlet where we can share. And also, on another level, I feel like after 7 years, you kind of get to a point in marriage where you know each other. And I don't know, it's just after 7 years, I feel like I need to rediscover who you are. Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff you don't say because you already think I know. And then vice versa, there's a lot of stuff I'll be talking to my clients about And I'll come home and won't even say it, number one, because I've said it like 6 times that day. And number two, it's probably had pertaining to you. And number three, it's just like, yeah, she already know, right? Or, so I think it's a good way for us to kind of reconnect. And I was thinking about this in the shower earlier, just like, if nobody watches, it still will be good for us to talk, right? And have something to talk about. And no matter what, I know my mama still love me, so.
And she'll watch it. She'll watch the kids. My mom will watch it. Like, the worst comes to worst, our family is going to be able to watch these kids every few days.
Yeah. So what's your why?
My why? I think it's any mom who has transitioned from being a career woman to being a stay-at-home mom, I think can relate to feeling like, okay, like, who am I now? Because so much of my identity was tied to either what I studied in school or what I did career-wise. And I'm used to putting a substantial amount of my energy into that. And when I started coming home, like, immediately it was like that energy went into LB instead of into the family as a whole. I think it went mostly into LB and then into my coaching business. And it got to a point where I felt like there was this divide. Like, there was me in LB and me in my coaching business, and that was majority of my life. And then Brian would come home and he'd be like, oh, hey, how was your day? Cool, whatever. Like, I wasn't really connecting. And this is, to me, kind of to smooth my life over together, because I don't want it to be so compartmentalized that I feel like you're not a part of this, you're not a part of that. Like,
I want to go ahead and jump right in real quick. I mean, I'm not going to take too long with this one. So, one of Tara's Mother's Day presents was
a bottle of wine.
And I set up a cleaning lady, or a cleaning service. So one of my clients is interested in bartering, and she owns her own cleaning service. So I was like, well, our house is a mess. You want to pay less? Like, let's do this. Right?
Ouch.
And so, well, I'll start there. Like, why ouch? Why do you feel like it's a bad thing? Because before you say that, I was nervous about pulling the trigger on this because of this reaction.
No, I mean, I appreciate it, because I know when we lived, so we lived in Morgantown, West Virginia for 4 years before we moved here. We've been here going on 4 years.
Yeah.
And after I had LB, it was overwhelming. I was working full time and I wanted a cleaning lady. He was like, wow, I don't want to pay somebody to clean our house. I can clean the house every weekend, blah, 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 blah. We were not financially in the space that we are now, but I was like, I need this. I'm losing my mind, and I feel like a failure when I come home. And so we ended up getting one that didn't work out. We got another one occasionally, but we never did it consistently. And so I know a lot of the women that I've met through activities with LB, or just my other friends that are also at home or only work part-time outside of home, have cleaning ladies. And I had been thinking about it, but I also felt like when I first was staying at home before I got pregnant with Vivian, I kind of felt like I was able to keep up with it. Even when I was pregnant, when that nesting instinct hit, like, I would clean the floors twice a week. I would clean the bathrooms once or twice a week. Like, I had a schedule for everything. And since I have brought Vivian home, it's just been so hard. And then on top of that, like, I don't know, I just feel like, sometimes I feel like when you stay home, even if you were to have a full-time work from home job, like, people look at you like, when they walk in the house, that's a reflection of you. So if somebody walks in here and it's not clean, they know Brian is working over 40 hours a week and I'm home. So I feel like it's like, oh, this girl ain't doing it right. You know, like, it almost feels like, especially because I'm not really confident in my domestic skills, because that's not what my plan for life was. Like, I mean, he's an awesome cook. I'm just going to heat it up.
You're gonna have some meat. Ain't no sides. You ain't getting no sides. You're gonna have some meat on there.
First of all, I make steamables all the time. I do make steamables. But yeah, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I try to be. You know, I went through that baking phase. And then we got fat. But So that kind of my reaction. My initial reaction is feeling embarrassed or feeling spoiled. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm not relatable, and I don't want people to think that I can't handle normal stay-at-home mom duties.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think there's levels to it, because sometimes if we have a play date and somebody comes over, they'll think our house is really clean, and sometimes they don't say anything, they probably think it's a mess. So I think there's levels to it. Like, in some people's eyes, we keep a really clean house, but it's not on the level that makes me comfortable or makes you comfortable.
Well, one of Tara's friends became a stay-at-home mom, and her fiance at the time had expectations of her. And whenever she wasn't meeting those expectations,
she had a newborn. So
whenever she wasn't meeting those expectations, he called her on it. And I remember coming home, and she's like, Tara's pissed because her friend's pissed because this guy done called her on her stuff.
I'm ride or die for my friends.
And I'm sitting here in the back of my mind, I'm like, I got them same expectations. I just ain't said nothing. And so, and luckily I didn't say anything because I was trying to be understanding in the moment that it's hard to transition through different phases. And so, but yeah, like one of those expectations was cleanliness. Like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm here all doggone day, like these kids gonna be cleaning up, right? But anyway, I just remember how mad you were about him having those expectations. And so I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I solve the problem by getting the cleaning service? Or do I just let it slide and just let you transition and let you get yourself together? So as you can tell, I let it slide and let you transition and let you get yourself together.
I thought I was doing pretty good up until I got pregnant. Well, there's a couple months I had to get in a groove.
Yeah.
There was like a good 3 or 4 weeks where I felt like the house was really clean.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but I am saying that there was a lot of hesitation for me to pull the trigger on this one.
Yeah. I do appreciate you. Like, even when you did have expectations, not ever making me feel less than. And I feel like a big part of marriage is knowing who you're married to. I'm kind of a mess, and I try really hard because I know you're not. I know that certain things bother him that don't bother me, so I try to take care of those things around the house. And I try to keep it a lot cleaner. But I think on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10, like, you up there when it comes to how clean and routine things have to be. So I appreciate you understanding that that's not me, and finding a way that we can get to a level that keeps you comfortable and me comfortable, and not making me feel bad about it.
Yeah. And then I think the tipping point for me was when I came home and you were so excited to start up this channel. And I was like, okay.
He's probably like, oh, my bathrooms will never get clean.
A week ago, this girl just told me that she cannot even put something up because she can't even imagine doing one more thing. And I'm like, well, I don't care how she feels. We're getting this service. And so, and I mean, just timing, like perfect timing, kind of. I feel like this is like the 3rd time around that me and this lady have like connected. So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it.
Well, and I think the other thing is, for me, there's a number on everything that I feel comfortable with, and anything that we can barter. That's one thing about owning a business. I love the barter system because I don't feel as guilty of it. I'm fine with that. I think we should pan around and show them this kitchen.
Why?
But upstairs, I would never let a stranger go to, ever. Like, LB's toys are all in our bedroom.
And bathroom.
And hallway. And we don't even play up there that much. Our basement is relatively straight most of the time. We're like, throw the toys in the toy box, it's okay. Down here is okay. But yeah. Ooh.
No, but so the reason I brought that up as our Marriage Monday talk is just because I don't know. Sometimes I think it's interesting to do things where you're like, it could go one or two ways. Like, this is gonna go really good. She's gonna be receptive, or she's gonna go really bad. And I'm just gonna have to be like, look at here. We need to have a talk. You know? So I'm glad it went. I'm glad it went.
Yeah. I mean, there's always that sting of like, I am not keeping up to the expectations, and I feel like it's all dependent on who you're married to. If our roles were reversed, this house probably would be spotless, you know. But I just am not that person. I'm just too scatterbrained, and I mean, having a breastfed newborn doesn't help.
Mm-hmm. Also, if the roles were reversed, our budget sheet will be done on time monthly instead of the accountant calling fussing at me because I'm 2 months behind.
Yeah. So I think gender has something to do with it too. Yeah. Like, I feel like I fall short as a woman. If I was a stay-at-home dad and the house looked like this, I don't think I would feel as bad. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just like, I feel like the expectation is I should be able to do these womanly things, and I'm not really that great at them. I'm not the best cook in the house. I'm not the cleanest person in the house. I am the best with numbers. I am the best at science stuff. But I'm not the best at a lot of womanly things. Mm-hmm. So that's where the insecurity comes from, I think.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, how did we come across the name? Because we were talking. Go ahead.
So we were talking last night and talking about starting this again. Saturday night. Yes, so it's a Sunday night right now. And I don't know how I came across this thought. I was just like, when I was younger, I talked to my sister and told my sister that I think in my head, like if I am having a really happy moment or listening to a song that I like, in my head that is something that is the color red, and I don't know why. And if it's something sad or like a sad time in my life, when I think about it as being like a blue time. And I just feel like sometimes one of the reasons I don't like Facebook is I'm scrolling and it's all negative stuff, all bad things that have happened, a bunch of politics, just stressful stuff. I mute people all the time because of that. And if you turn on the news, which I also can't stomach since having kids, it's always so negative and so heavy. So if I think of the color blue as being that like a negative space or kind of like sad, dreary space, then that is why we've named the channel Out of the Blue, because we just want to shed some like light and happiness in everybody's day and something lighthearted. And even if it's not lighthearted, if Marriage Monday is on something tough, it's still not blue, because at the end of the day, like, we're still here working through it and loving each other.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why I like that title was because I don't see my negative stuff as blue, right? Like, kind of like she does.
Kind of weird.
But I almost kind of vice versa. Like, for me, my two colors, like, my sadness color is red, right? And then my opposite end would be blue, right? And so I've always felt like I've existed in the middle, which is why orange is my favorite color. No, that makes purple, right? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yellow is my happy color. And so red and yellow make orange, and it doesn't make no sense. But anyway.
I'm not even editing that either. I just want that to be in there so people can
what
know.
I'm trying to
when I say it, that I'm not good at womanly things, I know what you get when you hug red and yellow, though.
I just went over that with LB. So anyway, I liked it just because it was like, all right, first off, this came about out of the blue last week. And, you know, when I hear out of the blue, I think of like, let's bring something out into the light, right? And so what we're trying to bring into the light is just normal life, everyday stuff. Let's be positive, let's be happy, let's enlighten, let's encourage. Let's move our people and everything forward.
So what can you take from this? Hopefully, through our videos, you'll get a good feeling. It'll be a feel good moment, but also I think there is also an informative aspect of it. So I plan on doing art projects and kind of like little science experiment things with LB on Tuesdays. On Family Friday, I do want to show a lot of the stuff in the garden because you and the kids worked on that really hard. Marriage Monday, I think everybody can always use, even if it's not like, oh, I learned something from them. It can also just give you and your significant other something to talk about, and you guys can see what you get with that. And Workout Wednesday, free workouts are always awesome, and for me, it'll keep me on track with doing them. I've been pretty good about doing my workouts, but when I look at my time hop when I was working out with you a couple years ago, it's like,
that's why she got pregnant.
Yeah, I know. Every time I get cute, I get pregnant, y'all. So if you start saying, for real, if I stand up and I look too good, somebody send me a message and tell me, girl, go eat. No, stop. Put on a couple pounds, get that happy weight back.
Julie told me permanent measures have to be taken.
Permanent measures. That's something we can talk about on a Marriage Monday, because that is a hard thing to come to.
And I've been thinking a lot about it too, so I got something to share on that.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be next week's Marriage Monday.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Peace, love, happiness.
Is that your thing?
That is my
I don't have something to sign off with. I was just going to say bye.
Peace, love, happiness.